Duke093's manager calls Lil Boosie to discuss the missing jewelry heist. Figure out exactly what happened, watch the whole video. Make sure you drop a like and comment. Subscribe to the channel if you already not. Let's get right into it. So the managers and Duke's OGs, they know that Duke wanted to make a chain or a piece for Boosie. But after everything happened at the concert and, the fact that the Louis Vuitton bags are missing and that the folks that took his stuff is going and melting down the gold and the silver and all that stuff, it's like, why didn't anybody ask, okay, where is the chain in the piece that Duke was supposed to make for Boosie? Like, where is it? Did it get taken with the other jewelry? Or did it even exist? Like, because Boosie came on Vlad and he told Vlad, when he asked him, he said that Duke wanted to give Boosie a piece and that he was going to make it for him and everything. And he brought it down to Houston and came to the Dice game and went to the concert and wanted to sit down with Boosie and actually show him the masterpiece that he put together for his jewelry, and that he just wanted Boosie to, get it as like a gift, and maybe that might spark Boosie putting Duke on to more business, or just saying like, okay, I'll make you a piece, but you still supposed to have bread to buy the Cuban that comes with it. I'm gonna give you the pendant, you buy the Cuban. It's supposed to be like a hookup that Boosie's getting basically. But I'm pretty sure that if Boosie was down bad and needed that $1 million in 48 hours, then the thought had to cross his mind that, oh, if Duke is willing to take the time to make a whole pendant, make a whole piece for Boosie, and actually go all the way down to Houston, the diamonds are on the piece and everything. It's like an actual highly valuable piece of jewelry, in that if Boosie and them thought, well, if he's just going to give this away for free as a gift, then that means he can, he can take the hit on possibly like having all of his jewelry gone, right? If he could give one piece away, they thinking that he could give all of his pieces away. So you got to remember that and keep in mind that some of those thoughts could have crossed some of the people's minds, especially the wolves. And when you really look at it, it's like, okay, well, right after the whole Dice game, in the Dice game even, you could hear in one of the videos where Duke wins a bunch of money on a roll that he had. And he was collecting all the money from Jay Prince, from the other guy, the guy with the twists. And you could hear Boosie walk up from the back of the crowd, and he walks up to the dice table and he says, if you don't let me hold some of that, then I'm going to just have to take it. And basically, it's him saying, like, Duke got invited to the Dice game, and if he won a bunch of money, that he's supposed to just automatically give a cut of it to Boosie, as if, like, Boosie's entitled to anything that comes in and out. Like, if you do good in the Dice game, that's your money. That's for you personally. You don't have to give anything to Boosie just because it was a Dice game that he invited you to. You paid to get in. You put your own money up at the table. So if Boosie didn't want to play the Dice game, then he doesn't get a cut from what somebody won, because he's not going and asking Jay Prince to get a cut of Jay Prince's money at the Dice game. So they only wanted to get a cut of Duke's money. They were really just targeting Duke, and like, if Duke has something, they wanted it because he gets it out the jewelry business. He has a legitimate way. He's smarter. He's a real businessman. Like, while Boosie and them have been in the studio just rapping about the old stuff they used to do in the streets, right? Duke's actually been grinding under the radar, being low key, and building up his jewelry business to multi-millions of dollars. While, Boosie's saying and speaking his mind, but he's not thinking of, he's losing a lot of opportunities. He lost a lot of opportunities from getting canceled. And so while Boosie's doing all this rah-rah to get himself canceled, meanwhile, Duke the Jeweler's got his head down and he's building up his multi-million-dollar jewelry company. And so the paths cross because Boosie was down bad and needed $1 million in 48 hours. And Duke was the type of person that could make $1 million in 48 hours. And so you see how, basically he could have been used, like his energy, the whatever power he has to do his business, to make his money, to make ends meet and put food on the table of his family and put in a roof over their heads. They basically used him for having the ability to do all that, to basically lure him in so that the money that he would bring, the money that he would win, the jewels and the diamonds and the chains that he would have, they would try to find a way to take it from him by pretty much setting him up, having him not be able to enter the same parking garage as everybody, him not being able to be protected by the same security that's protecting everybody else. So the guys that invited him, they just wanted him there as a sitting duck. They didn't want to actually be around him. So you see how it's two sides to this. Like, people could act like they want you around, but it could be for manipulative things. Like, they could be just using you for whatever it is that you bring into the table. But then when Duke's making his money at the dice game and he's offering his stuff for his jewelry and saying he can make a piece and this and that, then it's like, oh, at the time that Boosie starts losing money or his money starts running dry and he sees that Duke is still up and he's still doing good, then that's when they turn into the crabs in a barrel mentality comes back up again. Because you got to remember where, Boosie's from where he's from. So he still has that mentality locked into his head. He doesn't, that mentality never changes because that's how he grew up. So the only thing that they could think of is, hey, Boosie's money's running dry. They invited Duke. Duke's the type of person who could make $1 million in just a week or a couple of days even. So they were like, you know what? They got greedy. Their mouth was watering. They're licking their chops. They see a lick, and they basically, targeted the man and stuff, knowing that everything was basically set up. So, and you just got to keep in mind that, you can't just be trusting anybody these days, especially now when, there's no more the business loan. There's no more PPP. You can't get the funding like that where you used to be able to basically finesse like the last couple of years. But now all that's running dry, and Boosie's getting canceled left and right. Shows are getting canceled. He really only has the DJ Vlad interviews to get bread, plus, his music and stuff, right? And basically, they done eyeballed Duke and pocket watched him and just kept him around to basically be able to set him up for that situation, not because they actually liked him and thought he was cool as a person and wanted him to be like part of the crew, which he could have definitely probably made a lot better connections for Boosie just from him being able to bring another rapper together to Boosie that also wanted a chain. If Duke would have been able to get Boosie that chain and they were able to do some marketing promotion together, then they could have made a bigger bag and Boosie wouldn't have had to worry about coming up with the mill in 48 hours. They would have been able to get that just from them working together. But, at the end of the day, not everybody is trying to do it for, the benefit of the whole crew. Some people, they want to be selfish and they want to try to take Duke's jewelry and his money and everything he won. So with that in mind, man, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from, who you a fan of, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.